What's up, y'all? It's Daryl D, Daryl D TV. Welcome back. We're back with another Richard Corben video. Gonna show you some more magazines from my ever-growing collection of Richard Corben books. Hope you've been digging these videos. I've been enjoying hunting these books down and showing them to you. As far as I know, I have all of the comic book size books. But you know, there's still some Corben magazines that I'm still out there hunting for. There's like some obscure magazines and things of that nature, stuff I might not ever find, because Richard Corben appeared in a number of other types of magazines that I'm also looking for, but a lot of those are kind of really hard to track down. And then shockingly, a lot of his earliest work is relatively easy to find, but some of the stuff I'm not actually looking for. Like, he did a lot of art in mostly books, stories, literature, science fiction stories, things of that nature, where maybe he just did a picture or he just did a cover or things of that nature. There's a lot of that stuff floating around. Not really interested in that because it doesn't really give me, you know, that whole comic book vibe. Well, they're not comic books, so that stuff I'm not really going after. But there's some cool stuff out there that I hope one day I find some of this stuff, some of these magazines. I won't get too far into it, but there's some really cool stuff out there that's going to be really difficult. Anyway, I got a small stack here I'd like to show you, just some of the latest stuff that I've bought, and hopefully do a few shout outs too. You know, we'll see where it goes. So the first one I want to show you, I'm not even sure what's in this book. This is Creepy number 36. And I'm not sure which Corben story appears in this one, so let's crack this one open and see exactly what we can find in here. Let's see what story we got here. Because if it's something familiar, we won't spend too much time looking at stuff that most Corben people are familiar with. Let's see. Bear with me. Is this it? I think this is it. Yes. There's a story in here called Frozen Beauty, where Corben does the art and the actual story. Black and white on this one. You gotta kind of look really close on this story, because it's like, I know me, I would have passed this by. Actually, I did. I passed this right by when I was trying to show it to you, because that classic Corben style of art doesn't immediately jump out to you, but then if you take a little longer to look at it, you'll actually start to recognize it real quick. So yeah, what is this? Ice World. No, I'm Ice World. Frozen Beauty. Anybody familiar with that? I don't think I've ever seen I don't even remember if I've read this one yet. But anyway, so while I'm on this particular one, I can look at it and tell that this is a magazine that I bought from Phoenix's newest comic book shop. I call this guy the king of Arizona comics. This is Phil over at Champion Comics. He's only been open maybe less than 2 months. I've already done 2 videos about Champion Comics. Please go check them out, especially the second one. The first one, I tell you all about the shop and show you some books that I got out of there. The second one, we actually go to the shop and look at some of the most incredible comic books, comic magazines, and Stan Lee collectibles you've ever seen. Plus lots and lots of classic comics. His wall books are bananas. Anyway, pick this puppy up here. The next one I want to show you, I also picked up at Champion Comics. This is Creepy number 57. Another one that was on my list. One that eluded me for a while. Just a beautiful cover. I love that blue. I'm not sure what's in this one either, but we're going to take a look in this one as well. See what we can find. Man, this is in excellent condition. I tend to go for the reader copies because they're a lot cheaper. But he's got, over there at Champion, he's got a ton of magazines, and most of them are just mint condition. They're just absolutely mint. I don't know what page. Oh, he's got a write-up in the beginning of the book, a bunch of letters of people raving about his art. Let's find the actual story. See if we can. Here we go. Is that it? Nope. That's not it. Oh, here we go. The only story in here with color. This is called The Low Spark of High-Heeled Noise. The Low Spark of High-Heeled Noise. See if we can get some other art, or look at some other art going on there. It kind of looks, at first glance, just one of those weird stories that take place in some weird, crazy looking house. Let's take a quick look at that. You know, one of those kind of stories. I think it's like 8 pages long or something like that. So yeah, stuff like this I like pointing out because, you know, we're all familiar with Den and some of the other well-known books. Here's 1984, issue number 7. This also came from Champion. We know this book features Mutant World. So we've talked about Mutant World quite a bit. So we won't spend too much time on that. Mutant World is the first or 1984 is the first place where Mutant World appears. But we already knew that, right? Looks like this is another Creepy. This is Creepy number 83. And there's a story in here, if I remember correctly, it's called In Deep. But I don't remember what that story was about. Let's see. In Deep, number 34. Here we go. Whoa. No, that's 54. Okay, that didn't look right at first. Another. He's got the only story in color in this book. Another one of those. That's how special he was. Look at that. That is so cool. Look at the graphics or the font on that In Deep with the artwork inside there. Looks like a boat capsized out at sea type of story. I know I haven't read this one yet, but I'm going to enjoy that one because it already looks super duper cool. And for some reason, these stories at sea where they never seem to get old. That's like a classic story that never seems to get old. More Creepy. This is creepy number 67. I almost feel like I showed this before. I may mess around and have more than one copy of this. You know. This one, let's see who's in here. See the wear on that book? See the creases? That consists of most of my, comic magazines. Let's see, where is he? Okay, let's see if we can find him in there. Ah! Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Check it out. Edgar Allan Poe, some of his stories were just so weird. Like, I can't really keep up with them. They're not... Yeah, I guess if you're into that kind of old, weirdo kind of stories, but it would take Richard Corben's art to actually get me to hang around for one of these crazy stories. Check out that hand, that long finger. I'm not sure where I picked this one up at, but I'm guessing, I think all of these, I think this one and the one before, the creepy number 83, both came from Champion Comics as well, and it came out of the dollar bins. So yeah, he does have a lot of dollar magazines in there. I think I bought the whole run of Nam, buck a piece. What was that? Destroyer. I bought that whole run in there for $1 a piece. And those were mint, but those are cheap books anyway. And there was a few. I bought Punisher. I bought some Punisher in there. What else did I get out those dollar bins? I got creepy. I got some eerie, and I even got some what was the other one? Oh, some Vampirella. So that was cool. So now this book was on my list. I was hanging out with my buddy Tommy, who is a record collector, comic collector, pop culture collector. This guy is definitely old school New Yorker dude. He's that kind of guy, you know what I mean? But I was hanging out with him at his spot, and I came across this magazine right here, and I was like, hey man, I gotta have it. How much? You know what I mean? And because it was on my list, I was like, hey, I'm looking for this one anyway, And so we came to a really good price. I think he gave it to me for like $5 or something like that. I don't think it was any more. No, it was $10. I gave him $10 for this. So, yeah, I got to mark that one off of my list. But I don't remember what was actually inside. So let's see if we can find. There's a lot of artists and writers in here, so I can't see this story being too long. And they're all spirit stories in here. Ooh, this is cool. Oh, so okay, I remember. This was one long story, and every artist only did a few pages. So one long story, and this was like Corben's, I think he did 3 pages in here. Or was it just the 2? Yeah, it was just those 2 pages. So that's it. And I think the cover, is kind of reminiscent. It kind of represents all of the different artists in here, um, with kind of represented by all of the different characters on the cover. That's just my interpretation. I could be completely wrong on that one. But yeah. So I actually got to read this whole thing just to make sure I'm keeping up when I get to the Corben part, because he's actually towards the end of the book. Okay, now this one, this is Erie number 86. All Corben special. I bought this from a shop called Dreadnought. I've mentioned Dreadnought a number of times in some of these Corben videos, well, comic haul videos, period. As I've mentioned before, they are the closest shop in terms of where I live. Not too, a couple miles away. Not bad. I bought this on sale. They had an art sale up there some months back, and I think they had a 25% off, and so I bought it. It was still a pretty penny. I shouldn't say a pretty penny. It was still more than I would have liked to have paid, and I only say that because after I bought it, I went online and I saw some that were even cheaper than what I bought it for on sale. So, but yeah, what are you gonna do? I really should look up stuff more, but because it was so high in the first place, in my opinion, or I should say more than what I was willing to pay, I just thought it was one of the higher value books that I was looking for. But it turned out the price of this book is like all over the place. It's I've seen it really way up high, and then I've seen it, at a decent price. I think the cheapest I've seen it was maybe around $15. But I've seen it as high as 50, $60. So, yeah. But I love the book, All Corben. You can't get any better than that. Shout out to Dreadnought. This is another 1984 book. So, we're talking about Mutant World again. Here we have Vampirella number 15. And Corben only did, I do remember that he only did the inside art on this book. So not a whole lot, but he did some work in here nonetheless. Let's take a look at that. Oh, so check this out. These are some really soft, just some really soft looking art. Smooth, soft. Doesn't that look like soft and fluffy and pillowy even? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was never really into Vampirella. Even back in the day when I would come across these magazines, I'm not a vampire type person at all. Never got into her. I have maybe only a handful of these in my collection, and the only reason I have them is because they feature some of Corben's art in them. And here's the last magazine I want to show you, 1984. This is number 5 from 1979. More Mutant World in this book. So, and I believe both of these, well, yeah, both of these came from Champion. I think the last 2 or 3 also came from Champion. Speaking of Murky World, we all know about the hardcovers that Dark Horse came out with in terms of Corben's past work. The Den book. Here we have the Murky World book. Now, I didn't jump on this stuff right away. I knew it was coming, but I had no plans on buying the Den books. I had no plans on buying the Murky World books because, I figured I had, if not all of the 1984s, which I probably don't, but I knew that I could get them eventually, and if I wanted to read Mercury, I could do it then. But then there was more and more people online watching the videos, commenting on the videos, and I'm sorry I can't call all of you guys out by name. I don't remember exactly who they were, but people just kept encouraging me to pick up this book. And there were two people in particular. Oh, here's the biggest reason why I wasn't going to pick up this book, because I wasn't going to pay $40 for it, which is what they were retailing for. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were $39.99. I wasn't paying $40 for a book that I really already have it, but yeah, it was like recolored, and the colors are more vibrant. They aren't as dark as the actual magazines. They jump out at you. You can see things a lot clearer. You've heard all of the stories and saw other videos of people actually describing these books, especially my buddy Comic Crack, um, among others. I had no plans on buying this book, but there were two people in particular. Sorry, I don't remember your names, but they were like, hey, you really should, and you can pick them up cheaper. You look around here. One of you guys actually gave me a website. I didn't end up finding this on there. I found this on, I found it online, but I paid about half of what the book retails for. I think it was 21 bucks, something like that. 21, maybe 22 bucks. And that included the shipping. So that is why I picked up the hardcover of Mutant World. Plus, yeah, it's all here, in the same place. So I will probably, I'm going to read it from here. I'm going to read that whole story from here, opposed to each magazine. I will be, looking for the rest of the 1984s just so I can complete that whole thing if I don't already have them already. But, yeah, Daryl D does have the hard copy of Mutant World. And I'm going to be checking that out. So that's my latest Richard Corben, the latest additions to my Richard Corben comic book collection, magazine, and now book edition of those videos I've been doing. I don't even know what video this is right now. I don't know, 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there, whatever it is. Look at the description and you can see what video. And if you haven't seen the other videos, go back and check them out, because I show some really, really, really cool stuff. And there's a lot more where this came from. All right? So stay tuned, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. And until next time, this is Daryl D signing off. And you guys be safe. Peace.